Oh my god, Paul's doing a video! Hi, this is Paul here, back for another episode of my single-player Let's Play of Minecraft, Pyro's Journey, and, yeah, we're back, finally. Well, I don't know about finally, you know, this period, I've said before, this period that I'm going through at university is one of the most stressful periods I've ever had, and video making is not an option. It's into uni, go to lectures, go to labs, come home, and work on coursework. As I speak right now, I have a sign in oh crap, oh dear, one hit kill. Oh yeah. As I speak right now, I have a sign in front of me that says, ooh, lag. It doesn't say ooh, lag, by the way. It says, to-do list, and I have on it, assessed lab for operating systems, scientific review. I'm actually doing a review on, video game addiction, which is kind of cool. Why am I doing scientific reviews when I do a computer science degree? I don't know. I have to design a graphics interface. You guys know that. I'm going to go down here and just dig out an area for me to create my storage room in. And I probably should... I'm not going to do too much today. I know the videos haven't been very, like, high qualiters. Paul, why you make no high quality videos? Yeah, they haven't been very high quality lately, and yeah, it is my fault, I will admit to that. The reason being is because, I just don't have the time, and I have that GUI to design for another one. I have another lab to do for my networking module, and I have to make an entire app. Basically it's like a mini social network app it's a group project, but there's only like me and 2 other people working on it, and it's meant to be like 5-6 people per group. So, a lot of stuff to do, and most of that is due in next Friday, or the Friday after that. So, the heat is on, as they say, but, you know, complaining and bitching and whining about it isn't going to do anything for me, so I have absolutely no intention of complaining about it. Come to uni to get an education, not to become a bitch, become a little bitch, but... I will admit, like, fully, I've been somewhat depressed over the past week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just no motivation, and, I felt like a robot going to university, actually, because I was just going for the sake of going, because I knew I would get even worse if I didn't go, and, like, depression, you can't really diagnose yourself with depression. Well, you can. I kind of think that depression for me is like self-diagnosed. I don't need to go to a doctor for them to tell me I'm depressed, because for me, depression is just not even wanting to get out of bed in the morning, just wanting to stay in bed all day and do nothing. Not because of laziness, but because of the fact that the situation you're in is so bad. And you know, it's just something you can be yourself. So there's no point in me going to a doctor and telling them, hey, I'm depressed, and give me these drugs. Fuck that. Why we live in a society where when there's something wrong with your life, you go and you get drugs. You go and get drugs. Say, here, take these drugs. And you know, I personally am of the belief that mental problems like depression can purely be beat by positive thinking and you know, exploring yourself. And I do think, like, in times that we are not depressed, but, you know, maybe sad, or, you know, we're a bit annoyed, or our life isn't going as planned, I really do think, like, in the lowest of your lows, like, when everything is on the table, I do think that that's when you really, like, discover things about yourself. And as of recently, in the spare time that I've had, I've been reading a lot. Like, I have been reading a lot of spirituality text, and spirituality text isn't necessarily, oh, it's all about God. No, it isn't. It's about, like, spirituality is about, like, inside you, like, what is there. So you know, the books I read, the books that I have read was, I read Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now, and Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth, which I went the wrong way. Which these are books that encourage, like, living in the present moment. And I often find that myself included in this, and the vast majority of people in life go through their entire life with, you know, with their head thinking in the present, in the past, or sorry, the future in the past, and very rarely do you get someone that concentrates on the present moment. So what basically the summary of these books are, like, I recommend you go and read them. If I bought it on my Kindle, and from there I just started reading it. But, like, what they basically encompass is the past is the past. Like, the past might as well not exist at all. Like, the past does not exist because you cannot change it at all. And anything you worry about from the past isn't going to change. The future is unpredictable. You cannot predict the future. We could all get wiped out tomorrow by a huge asteroid that nobody saw. So you can't predict the future. So what is the point in worrying about the future? Because if you worry about the future, then you're essentially worrying about nothing. And in some cases, worrying about something that doesn't exist is called a mental disease. It is called being insane. So technically, we're all in the social norms of insanity, because worrying about something that doesn't exist yet, worrying about the future, is insanity, because it doesn't exist. You know, you see people who are insane, thinking about things that don't exist, these imaginary people, these voices in their head. The problems that we're envisioning don't exist. Will they happen? It depends. You don't even know what's going to happen, so there's no point in worrying about something that doesn't, is not in the present. So these entire books, like, encompass self-awareness, like third-person thinking. So when you're doing something, think of yourself in the third person. Think outside your mind. A really good point in them was, like, you aren't defined by your thoughts. Your thoughts are not you. Your thoughts are merely a representation of what culture and what surroundings you've been brought up in. So, for example, if you're from ages 1 to 16 are, like, shown, or, your parents to say, hey, let's let our kid watch, like, Discovery Channel programs, or let's let our kid, go to church every week, because I find, no offense to anybody that's religious out there, but I find the vast majority of parents do force religion on their children, me included. I was made to go to church until I was 16. Said to my dad, look, I don't approve of this. I don't approve of this, but I'm all for you having your own belief. I personally, not for me. I don't like this. So I told him that, and he was like, okay. Now I go out of respect, because, like, I am all of the notion, like, you should respect other people's beliefs. If my dad respects the fact that I am somewhat agnostic atheist, then surely I should respect his. So, like, when we have special masses at church, like for anniversaries of my dad's parents or brothers or something like that, I would go to those. Or I would go to Christmas Mass with my family just because it's a tradition, and, I find it interesting looking into some certain cultures. But, if you're brought up in an environment, your mind will obviously be sculpted around that, and it's basically saying you need to essentially escape your mind and think in the third person sort of sense, that this is what I'm doing. Is it right? Is what I'm doing going to help? So Eckhart Tolle really does a great job of that. I really recommend you go and look up his books. Some people might, I find them, some of the parts are very, like, New Age. By New Age, I mean it kind of talks about, like, chakras and stuff, and it somewhat goes into Buddhism. It's kind of like a Zen book, and like a kind of like a Taoist book. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's kind of like going along with the flow of life rather than fighting against it and worrying about, it's kind of like most people. I like to think of the analogy that most people go through life like fighting against the flow. Like, if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So there's no point like worrying over it. If we're gonna get hit by an asteroid tomorrow, and there's nothing we could do, I would seriously just go outside and like meditate or something like that for 20 hours straight or something. Just being present of the moment. I don't know. Probably all planes would probably be shut down by then. So there's nothing I really could do. So why worry? And, I'm not saying, like, I'm some sort of god now that I know this, or I'm some sort of, like Zen monk who has everything under control, because I still have trouble thinking in the present, but it's a slow adaptation, isn't it? Like, I wasn't going to do a video tonight, and then I thought, think in the present, Paul, what can you do right now? I was like, oh, I'll wake up tomorrow, make a video. I was like, no, because you are not your future self. Your future self is a completely different person. And if you want to see that your future self is a completely different person, then go and take a nap, okay? Because I did this today. Usually I take 15-minute power naps, because basically if you don't go into a mid sort of deep phase of sleep, you can wake up without feeling groggy. So I usually take like a 15-minute nap. I actually take caffeine naps, which is I take like a caffeine tablet and then sleep for 15 minutes, and then by the time I wake up, the caffeine usually is getting into my bloodstream. So, but I just decided, 15-minute nap, and my alarm went off, and I was like, I'll just go back to bed for another, half an hour, 15 minutes, and then it just piled from there. So most of the times I can wake up from it, but obviously that's just an example of how even 15 minutes later, I am not myself. I am not myself at all. I'm not the person who I was 15 minutes earlier saying, oh, I'm going to get up and do lots of work and feel refreshed. Yeah. So I've been trying that. So these like self-help sort of books have been helping a lot. The Eckhart Tolle ones are fantastic. I'm beginning to read one. I've also like been sort of reading Dale Carnegie's How to Influence People and Friends. Just it's basically understanding people a lot more, because I try to look at other people's perspectives rather than forcing my beliefs or my own views on people. I know I'm just talking the biggest load of crap here, but I'll get back to that. Yay, it's Minecraft happy videos. Let's kill all the skeletons. Oh my god, diamonds. Ah! Sort of videos like soon, but right now I'm not going to convey a personality that doesn't represent what I am all about, because I think forcing something like that is just it's just fake. Sure, I could probably go and like snort 5 grams of caffeine and do one of those videos right now, but I really don't want to. As I was saying though, in your lowest times, I usually find that, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I usually find in your lowest times you really do find yourself and find a lot more about yourself, and I think through those like sort of struggles you kind of appreciate yourself and your life a lot more, because I was kind of thinking a lot into astronomy and thinking about how like what happens when we die, and about how like if you're religious, sure, like there might be an afterlife. I'm not sure. I'm not one to like give judgment on that, but I kind of like, okay, the realization that I only have one life is kind of standing in now, and it's like, if I'm not going to do something now, then I'll probably never have the chance again. So you need to just take chances and not pass them up and all that jazz. Another book I was looking into reading was do you know what a really good thing was though? Like, see, living in the moment sort of thing. I was reading one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's biography, and I mean, if you look at Arnold, he has went through a lot of stuff, a lot of hard work as well. And he was saying that he only wanted to do bodybuilding because he found it fun, but when it came to actually serious pro bodybuilding and it came to the dieting and all the hard work, he said if he knew what hard work that would entail, then he probably would have never did it. So he was all about taking it day by day and living in the present moment. This is what I'm trying to convey, like, live in the now, don't live in the future. So he was trying to convey that if he had knew what hardships were going to come along in the future, then he wouldn't have pursued it. And I think the majority of people begin a goal with the hardships in mind. Like, you begin just say an Ironman, so something like that, or triathlon. I actually find that people who do like triathlons and stuff are very, very mentally strong. One of the like an Ironman, or I think it's an Ultraman, I can't remember, but one of my favorite people in terms of mind over matter is a guy called David Goggins, who was a former US Navy SEAL. He actually holds the world record for the number of pull-ups done in 24 hours, and he also has ran like a lot of miles. But he was talking in an interview, and I think he ran for like 24 hours straight once with a 24 hours straight once in a Ultraman marathon, and you kind of have to have a very, very strong mental mindset to do that, because what he said is, if I can just make it to the next door, or the next, like, he would set goals for himself in his mind. If I can make it to the next mile, then that I'll be happy. And then when he got to the next mile, he realized that, okay, now that that's over, if I can make it just to the next mile, a whole new door opens and a whole new like mindset gets released for that. Have I got my sound on? Okay, I do. I haven't got my headset on. Okay, I was just wondering there. And with that, it's kind of getting away from those hardships, which I find quite cool. So it's all about the moment, guys. Enjoy the moment, I guess. That's actually the name of one of my favorite songs. Enjoy the Moment by Bop. Go check it out if you haven't. It's a really cool song. So it's just, I've been all about that lately. I've been all about self-discovery and like, see, when the workload I have right now is insane, and I said before, I'm not gonna bitch about it because what's there is there, and the only thing I can do right now to combat that workload is work on it. You know, me complaining isn't gonna make it go away, so hopefully getting that gone. In like 3 weeks I have Easter break. I'm off for an entire month, but I'm not gonna relax. I'm not gonna like put it in second gear or you know, put it in first gear. I'm revving up. I'm revving it up to like 5th or 6th gear. I have exams as soon as I get back from Easter, so I'm not going home for Easter. I'm not going home to see my family. I'm not going home like to relax. I'm going straight to the library every day, 8 hours, and revising because I just cannot afford to mess up this. You know, I can't afford to make mistakes here, and I don't want to go down the line and regret it. So straight to the library, get all that stuff done. So I think that was just like my kind of. A lot of people were asking me what's my motivation in life, and to be honest, I have no motivation in life. Motivation for me, well, motivation, you know, motivation is good for getting started. I'll say that much. I always like to go and get the old motivated picture and something like that, or read the old inspirational story. But for me, true, you know, true motivation lies in like mastering myself, like making the best person I can be out of myself, and you know, becoming like every day I wake up with a mindset, let's make this the best day I've ever had in a work state. You know, do a lot of work. I think it was Will Smith who was like, hard work, like skill is only developed by hours and hours of like going at your craft, like doing it and doing a lot of work. And I think that's the kind of mentality I try to adopt every morning. Sometimes it doesn't go to plan. Sometimes I wake up feeling like shit. Like today, I had 8 hours sleep. Okay, I'll put someone's perspective. I'm trying to like experiment to get like 5-6 hours sleep and wake up. So I'll probably go to bed at about 2 a.m. tonight, and I'll try and wake up at about 7 or 8, between 7 and 8. I have an app on my phone that wakes me up between like a certain period of time based on the state of sleep I'm in. It uses the accelerometer on the phone to like, you know, if you're in deep sleep, you don't move that much, whereas if you're in light sleep, you tend to move around a lot. So it'll try and wake me based up on that. So I'll try and wake up then. But you put in perspective how like important sleep cycles are and habits. I had 5 hours sleep on Saturday, and I stayed up the entire day. I didn't go to bed at 2 a.m. It's like I did a lot of work on that day as well. So, you know, you're not tired because you overslept. That doesn't work. You can actually, oh crap, what the hell? You can actually survive on like 4 hours sleep. Nikola Tesla, one of the best inventors of all time, actually said he slept 2-3 hours a day, and he supplemented that with naps. So that's called polyphasic sleep, which is sleeping and then taking naps. When you take those naps, you go straight into REM sleep. REM sleep is deep sleep, and deep sleep is what your body needs to like recharge. So he goes straight into REM sleep. I think it was Leonardo da Vinci that also said he slept 2 hours a night, which I find insane. I couldn't do that. I think I'm going to shoot for 5 to 6. Scientists have reported the sweet spot is like 7 to 7.5, I think, or something like that. But, you know, I kind of think with the mindset, if I sleep 6 hours a night and wake up, you know, and end up shaving like 2 years off my life because of that, then I'll be like, but the 2 years, you know, the years that I've gained from waking up earlier will probably have like equalized that out, and I would rather do more now than live longer later, because I'm young now, you know, I can do stuff now. I don't want to be 75 and thinking, oh, I really wish I had that extra 2 hours sleep when I was 19. I really do. No, I don't want to be like that. I want to do stuff now, and you know, the only easy day was yesterday, as they say. It just never ends, and every new day is a challenge. But, you know, I thought I'd make this commentary today, let you guys know where I am, and you know, to let you guys know how I'm doing in my life. I want to say that I'll get back to posting videos consistently, like consistently meaning every day soon, but I don't want to make that promise because, you know, realistically, if I get all my coursework done by this weekend, I'll be able to do that. I'll be able to go back to posting every day. But if I don't, obviously it's going to be a struggle. Like, I'll try and get a video up every like 2-3 days until all my coursework's done, and then after that I'll you know, go from there. But This video is about 20 minutes long. I wanted to keep it about that. I know I didn't really do much, but you know, I'm just derping around here making a storage room. I wanted to keep it that way, so this is just your little like Zen article for the day. If you're watching this at night, go to bed, wake up early and do stuff. If you're watching this in the morning, go and do stuff today. Don't regret it. Present moment. It's the only moment that exists. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it as always. And this is Pop signing out. Bye bye.